I built my career from the ground up, sacrificed weekends, missed birthdays, turned down relationships. I thought love could wait. But time flew, and I found myself at the top of my game, yet alone. Romance had become a foreign language I no longer spoke. Somewhere along the way, I even stopped caring about my appearance. Not that I looked bad, but I simply didn't have the time or the desire to impress anyone. I was respected, successful, and driven. That should have been enough. And then Alex entered my life. He was ambitious, talented, and had that easy confidence I'd lost long ago. I noticed him in meetings, always sharp, always composed. He was younger, but not naive. I had already been considering him for a promotion when a business trip came up. A week away from the office, just the two of us. At first, it was strictly business. We reviewed reports, made strategic plans, and prepped for client meetings. But then, the storm happened. We were mid-flight when turbulence struck, shaking the plane violently. I gripped the armrest so hard my knuckles turned white. It was my biggest fear. I hadn't flown comfortably since a personal tragedy I never spoke about. My breath came in shallow gasps, and then I felt his hand on mine. "Hey, just breathe," he murmured, his voice steady. No one had comforted me like that in years. I wasn't the boss in that moment, wasn't the woman who had it all figured out. I was just me, afraid, vulnerable, and he saw that. When we arrived at the hotel, something had shifted. We spent the evening in my room, unwinding, talking about everything and nothing. His presence was intoxicating, his laughter disarming. Our hands brushed, our eyes locked, and before I knew it, we had crossed the line. The next morning, I woke up in his arms. For the first time in forever, I felt alive. The weight of my responsibilities had lifted, replaced by something lighter, something exhilarating. Back at the office, my colleagues noticed the change. My usual stern expression had softened, my wardrobe a little less severe. Even I felt different, happier, maybe even hopeful. Then Jake stormed into my office. "Sorry, but you need to see this." Jake wasn't someone I liked. He was rude, gossipy, and always had an angle. But when he handed me his phone, my world tilted. There, on the screen, were messages. Dozens of them. From Alex. They weren't just casual texts. They were conversations with someone else, discussing me. My hands trembled as I scrolled through them. Almost there. She's totally falling for it. She's already considering the promotion. And then, the final blow. Once I get what I need, I'm done. My breath caught in my throat. My heart raced. The warmth I had felt with Alex, the way he held me, the tenderness in his eyes, it was all a lie. I had been a stepping stone, a means to an end. When Alex walked into my office later that day, I was ready. I held my emotions in check, my face unreadable. He smiled like nothing had changed, like he still had me wrapped around his finger. "Hey, busy day?" he asked casually, sitting across from me. I placed the phone on the table, screen up. His expression flickered, just for a second, but it was enough. "I think we need to talk," I said, my voice steady, and talk we did. He tried to deny it at first, then backtracked, saying it wasn't what it looked like, but the evidence was undeniable. I saw the moment he realized he had lost, that the game was over. "You were going to use me," I stated, not a question. Silence. And in that silence, the last piece of my heart that had opened up to him shattered. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I simply ended it. I revoked his promotion consideration, and made it clear our professional relationship would remain strictly business. He left my office, and just like that, the fairy tale ended. In the days that followed, I learned to pick up the pieces. It wasn't easy. The hurt, the humiliation, the betrayal, it all weighed on me. But I also learned something invaluable. Love isn't about finding someone who makes your heart race. It's about finding someone who doesn't make you question their intentions, someone who doesn't see you as an opportunity, but as a person. And maybe, just maybe, it was time I started seeing myself that way too. So tell me, have you ever trusted the wrong person? Have you ever fallen for someone who wasn't who they seemed to be? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories.